Hello, class, and welcome to Religious Studies 110, Religions of the World. My name is Professor Matthew Pitts. I'll be your instructor throughout the semester. I think you'll realize during this lecture and throughout the lectures that will follow that I am extremely passionate about this subject. It's very fascinating to me to study the concept of religion and the concept of belief. My goal by the end of the semester is that all of us can come together to learn more about what it means to believe in a higher power, what it means to believe in God, or whatever name each religious organization or institution might give to the concept of God and deity. But not just to have a better sort of book understanding of the concept or of the topic, but also to understand what it means to view lived religion or religion as it's practiced. There will be some assignments that address lived religion, but the idea is that you will come out of this semester understanding what it means to practice religion as well as just believe in a particular concept. Because belief versus practice is a very interesting and necessary component to understanding religion. So throughout this lecture, I'm going to review the syllabus in detail. I'm going to show you all of the different assignments that we'll have throughout the semester, and I think you'll see that this course is designed for the success of the student. I really want everybody to succeed in this course, and so I've created many points that are essentially free points, that if you do the things that are asked of you in this course, you will receive automatic points that will get you to where you want to be to achieve that A. So following that, I'm going to look at the e-book a little bit and show you how that works. That'll be our main text throughout the semester. So, religions of the world. There are too many religions to count and too many to talk about in a course like this. This is a course that spans basically the entire world geographically. It spans pretty much from the dawn of time until the modern day. And so there's a lot to cover. I like the way that the ebook is set up, and I think as you get into it, you'll see that it's very well organized. It has tons of information, more than I could ever test on, more than you could ever fully learn. So I'm not going to get real granular in the readings in terms of pulling out the little teeny definitions to test you or quiz you on. I'm going to quiz you on the broader concepts of what you're getting from the readings. Nevertheless, all of that information is just packed full into that ebook, so it's great to have that. So we're going to talk specifically about some of the major world religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, obviously Christianity, Judaism, Islam. We're going to look at some of the other the Chinese religions, Taoism, Confucianism. We're going to talk about some of the more modern restorationist movements, including Mormonism. We're going to discuss the concepts of belief versus unbelief and the rise of modern atheism and the concept of spiritual but not religious. Some of you that are taking this course may be religious, and this may be one of the reasons why you're taking this course. I certainly don't want to discourage any type of religious belief, but what I do want to show is that studying religion in an academic setting is difficult because religion is something about which people are so very passionate. And so the challenge is, how do you separate yourself from that passion and from that belief to be able to analyze something, through an academic lens? And that's really what you have to try to do. You have to strive to do that. You have to strive to set aside your own beliefs, see things from a neutral third party perspective, and really, kind of get into these religious traditions. Find out what the concepts are that drive these religious traditions, and try not to set them aside because it is different from the way that you personally believe. That's the great struggle of studying religion through an academic lens, but it can also be very worthwhile because it opens up your perspective. It gives you a better understanding of those around you, of the people that we share this globe with. And then there may be others among you that aren't religious believers, that consider themselves agnostic or atheist. Part of the goal of this course is to find out where that particular system fits in the milieu of religious studies and of religions throughout the world. So let's go ahead and jump into the syllabus, and I want to say this in the beginning, and I'll say this probably a couple more times throughout. If you have any questions about the syllabus or about the course in general, please feel free to call or to email me. My information is right here, so don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right. The required text for this course is Revealing World Religions, version 5.4. It's an ebook. Here is the link. You all need to follow the link to purchase the book. Now, we're not going to have any readings from the book throughout the rest of this week. I did that on purpose because I want you to spend the rest of the week getting familiar with the software, becoming familiar with the book and the text, and the readings will start next week. This week, I want you to obviously listen to this lecture. There will be no quiz this week. There will be an assignment for us to get to know each other as a class, and that's what I want you to focus on for this week. Okay, let us scroll through here. Okay, so there are 6 different areas of points. There's postings and replies on forums that we'll have every week. There's reading and submitting your modules through the reading, through the ebook. There's quizzes. There's going to be a lived religion assignment. There's a research paper and a final exam. And that comes out to 1,000 points. And here's the grading scale that you can refer to throughout the semester. I'm going to go through each one of these individually so you have a better understanding of what we're looking at. Okay, so the discussion postings. Every single week for the 15 weeks that we have class, I will post a discussion forum. I won't start it out. I'll let you guys jump in and post your discussion topics. But what I want you to do is, after you do the readings, I want you to react to them in some way. So I want you to post something about how you reacted to the readings. It could be, something that was interesting to you, something that you were surprised about, something that is different than the way you thought it was. It can be a reaction to something else that you've read in a different class that seems to contradict what you're reading in the book. It can be really anything. I'm concerned that with 2 things. Number one, it's not just about quantity, although it does have to be about 1 to 2 paragraphs. I don't want a 1 or 2 sentence posting. That won't get you any credit. But I want it to be well thought out. So throughout the semester, you will have 12 postings that will be due. So that means out of the 15 weeks, you're going to be posting something every week, but you've got 3 weeks that you can miss. In addition to those 12 postings, and one more thing, you can only do 1 posting every week. So you can't post twice in a week. You're welcome to further discuss the discussion if you have something that you're interested in, the reaction from your fellow students, and you want to post on there, you're welcome to. I'll only give you credit for 1 per week, and as long as you do 12, you get the full credit and you get the full points. You'll also have 20 replies, so you'll go into the forum, you'll see the postings of your colleagues, you'll get on there and you'll post reactions to them. Now these reactions or replies don't necessarily have to be the full 1 to 2 paragraphs, but I don't want them to be phoned in. I don't want them to just be, hey, cool, I agree. That won't count for anything. You have to react to what your peers are saying, and you're welcome to post a reply to someone else's reply, and that will count for you as well. Because what I want to do is generate a discussion. These forums can be absolutely fascinating in what comes out in terms of students expressing their opinions. So feel free to react to someone else's response, and that will count. You don't have to reply directly to a posting. You can reply to someone else's reaction, or post another reply to the posting that doesn't have anything to do with the other replies. However you want to do it. But one thing I want you to do is I want you to take the slight anonymity that you have in a class like this and let it embolden you. Not to the point of being mean or being disrespectful, but I want you to really speak your mind and share your opinions. This is an extremely important part of the class. It's one of the drawbacks to an online class is that you don't have the direct interaction, and that's why I require it. I make it a part of the points required to post discussions and to react and respond to your fellow students. So your postings have to be posted by Friday at midnight. Your initial postings have to be posted by Friday at midnight for you to get credit of the week that you're posting on. So I will have the lectures posted by the beginning of the week, usually early Monday morning. And obviously you have your readings that you can do that are on the syllabus. So usually I recommend that students take the first 3 or 4 days of the week to make sure they go through the readings and they watch the lectures, they watch any other videos posted, and then they post sometime before Friday at midnight. Then everyone else throughout the rest of the week will have time to post their replies, Saturday, throughout the day, and Sunday. All right. I'll let you review this a little bit more in terms of the rubrics of the posting. The next part of your points, and this is another freebie, is the Revealing World Religions module. So I'll show you this a little bit later, but as you go throughout the readings on the ebook, it's very organized, and the system tracks how long you spend on each page. You have to do the readings to get the credit in this. You have to go through the reading modules all the way to the end. You have to perform the activities that they say. They're pretty simple. There's going to be some sections where you have to type something into an open box. It doesn't need to be multiple paragraphs. A couple of sentences is fine, reacting to the questions they're asking you to do. But you have to spend time on each page. If you're just clicking through the pages, you won't get credit in the system. It's not going to be my choice as to whether I go back and review whether or not I think that you did it. The system automatically knows whether or not you spent at least 5 seconds on each page, and whether or not you can receive full credit for that particular module. So this will become a little bit more clear as I actually show you the module after this. But there are a total of 6 of these modules that have to be submitted. There's modules on exploring religion, which will be next week, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Now, a couple of these modules span a couple of weeks. So for example, when we do Hinduism, it'll be 2 weeks, Buddhism 2 weeks, Christianity, almost all of them are 2 weeks except for exploring religion. You don't need to submit the module after the first week. The first week will be basically doing the first half of that module, and during the second week you'll finish that module, and the module will be due and have to be submitted and finished. There's nothing you really need to do to submit it. You just have to finish it and make sure it's complete by the end of midnight on Sunday of the week that the module is finished up. So you'll see this as we get to the actual schedule. I put on this weekly schedule when the modules are actually due, and you have to have them completed. So that's 12% of your grade, and that's just doing the readings. You'll get credit for doing the readings, so do it, and that's a chunk of free points right there. Okay. Next are the module quizzes. There will be 14 quizzes throughout the semester. I'll probably give you 1 or 2 free quizzes throughout the semester. Just stand by. I usually do that to, as kind of a reward if the discussions are particularly good and things like that. So keep that in mind. But there will be quizzes. They're 15 points each. You have 15 minutes to do them, and they'll be done on titanium. So when you start the week, everything that you need to do for the particular week will be posted on titanium under that week, and it'll include the videos, links to the videos, a reminder of what the readings are, and it'll have the module quiz, which will populate on Thursday. So I always have the quiz populated at the beginning of the day on Thursday, so you can have a few days to do it, but I don't want the quiz to be available at the very beginning of the week. Normally if you were to take a class like this, it would be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday class. It would span throughout the week. I want you to treat it like that. I don't want you to sit down on Monday and spend an hour and hammer through the week and do your quiz and everything. So your quiz will become enabled on Thursday, and you'll have from Thursday throughout the end of the day on Sunday to do the quiz. Once the quiz is over, once it ends, please don't email me and ask me to take the quiz, because that's the time frame that's been given for the quiz. So try to stick to that. There will also be a lived religion assignment. This will be due November 6th. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to attend a house of worship of any of the religious traditions that we've talked about, and it can't be a religious tradition that you belong to or participate in. You can go to, a Catholic mass. You can go to a, a Sabbath service, a Jewish Sabbath service. You can go to a Mormon sacrament meeting, whatever you'd like, and then you're going to write a brief paper about that and just give me your reaction. It's similar to the reaction, the discussion assignments, but this is going to be a 2 to 3 page paper. Here we go. 2-page double-spaced paper, giving me your experience, explaining your experience, and talking to me about your reaction to viewing this this religion in action. Those are free points as well. As long as I see that you did it, I believe that you went, I can see that you put something into putting together this draft, then I'll give you full credits for that as well. Next, we have the research paper, which is due December 4th. It's just a traditional research paper, 5 to 7 pages. This is going to be 20% of your grade, and this will be graded. So you want to make sure that you do a good job, that you use the primary sources that you have to use, at least 2 primary sources. Now this is wide open too. I want to give you the freedom to explore what you want to in this class. So you can pick a tradition that we've studied, and again, there will be the main traditions that we study, and I'll fit in some other smaller traditions or different religions that we don't get to in the main modules. I'll do some of those in smaller lectures and stuff like that. So you can talk about any of those. If you have another tradition that we haven't discussed, just contact me for approval, and I don't believe that I'll have a problem with it, but basically, come up with any topic that fascinates you, but I want it to have some of your own thought. I don't want you to sort of regurgitate what's out there already. Have some of your own thought. Compare two religious traditions. Compare different concepts. Discuss the concept of mysticism in a particular religious tradition versus in another tradition, or the concept of mysticism versus a strict adherence and things like that. So be creative, and this is meant to be an opportunity for you to explore what you're interested in and what you're fascinated in. But I don't recommend waiting till the very end of the semester to write it. I give you up until about finals, so December 4th is the last week of class. But I recommend getting going on this, and it'll be a lot easier for you. You'll be a lot happier with yourself. Okay, and then finally, we have a final exam. There's not going to be a midterm in this course, just a final exam, 20% of your grade. I really try hard not to make the final exam too difficult. There's going to be 4 sections to it. There'll be a multiple choice section, a true or false section, and these will be very similar to the types of questions that you'll get on the quizzes throughout the semester. And then there will be a short fill in the blank and short answer section, and then 1 essay question, a maximum of 90 minutes. So it's not meant to be too intense, but you do want to prepare for it, and I will give you a study guide and whatnot to help you get through it. All right. This right here is the book. And this is a great resource. I'll kind of show you how it works. I'll give you a little kind of a sneak peek into next week, which is exploring religion. As you highlight a particular topic on the left, you'll see that it will populate on the right. If you click once, then it'll lock that topic in place, and you can go to one of the subsections. Same thing, if you click on that, it'll lock it into place. Now, if you want to actually get into the text, you'll double click on that, and it'll open up the text. Now you'll see there's a scroll bar here where you can scroll through the pages of the particular section. And I'll show you some of the features as we do this. If you notice, as you scroll over the readings, you can actually click on it, and it'll give you a definition. So that's all throughout this with a lot of different things. I'm not going to be getting too granular in terms of pulling from definitions. I'm going to pull more generally from the text itself for the quizzes and for the final. But this is a great resource for you. There's also a narration feature. Let's see. You could turn the narrator on, And
you will learn the term religion
then
was
the narrator
developed in
will,
the West, and not all societies have a
I'm not sure if
concept
you can
of
hear that or
religion
not, but
as
as you do that, if you turn the narrator on, then it will basically read the text to you. So if that helps you to learn, apparently some people love it, some people hate it. So that's one thing that you can do. So as you scroll throughout, you'll see that there are pictures in the background. If you right click, you'll be able to see the picture, and then if you just single click, it'll take you back to the text. So again, you have to spend at least 5 seconds on the page. Don't just count to 5 and scroll on. The whole idea is that you read and become familiar with the concepts, because you never know what is going to be on the quiz. It could be pulled from this. I'll also pull from my lectures. Again, I'm not trying to trip you up or trick you or anything, so I'm not going to be pulling real small granular stuff, but I want to make sure that you're doing the readings as well. So as you come to the end of the section, you'll see that there are some different activities that you'll need to do. And I want you to do these as you scroll through. There's some drag and drop activities like this, and this will be typical of what you'll see throughout the semester. Then again, like I said, there'll be areas where you can type in a response. You don't need to get real detailed. It doesn't have to be paragraphs, just a couple of sentences as appropriate. Okay. And again, I have spoken to the company that that you'll be purchasing these books from. If you have problems with this software with your book, email them directly, and you'll have that information when you sign up. That's the quickest and easiest way to get this taken care of. They've assured me that they respond to these emails and they address service concerns very, very quickly. So that's how you'll want to handle it. Then when you're done with the section, as you get to the end, you'll see that you'll go back here, and you'll see there's a star on that particular section. That means that you've completed the section. So when you get to the point where it's time to submit, as I said before, submit a module, you don't really submit it. You just make sure that when the module is done, so the second week of Judaism, for example, just make sure that there's a star on all of these sections, that everything is starred, which means you've read through it, you've done everything, and that everything is starred and ready to go. And then that will show on my end, and I'll see that you've done that by the deadline, which is always the end of the day on Sunday, which represents the end of the week for our particular module. All right. So that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You'll see we've got the assignments all set out, the readings, when the modules need to be completed. I reserve the right to post different videos and update the readings, and I'll do that on Titanium on the actual course as we go throughout this. But I've tried not to make the readings too heavy. I've tried to stick with the book and the interactive modules that the ebook has. So that will be the majority of the readings. I will add some different readings in some later weeks that we don't have in the ebook, and just stand by and I'll post those as the weeks get closer. So I'm excited to go on this journey with you. I'm grateful to be in this teaching opportunity, because I've seen teaching this course and teaching other courses like this that the study of religion is fascinating. People are passionate about it, but really what you can get out of this is a better understanding of those around you, and a better understanding of the religious traditions, the reasons, the impetus for actions, and for the motivation for all sorts of different things can come more clear as you come to have a better understanding of what people believe in terms of their connection to the divine. Thanks again, and I look forward to working with you throughout the semester.